When I think about being an educational leader, it brings me back to my childhood. It was filled with addiction, uncertainty, and the one place that I found comfort and consistency was at school. School was always safe for me, and it gave me the things that I didn't get at home. I always felt loved by my parents. So what teachers brought to my life was a belief in me to be able to go beyond where I was. And my why ties back to what school provided for me. After I'd spent about 5 years in the classroom, I decided that I wanted to take my desire to impact lives one step further. And I went back to school to get my master's degree in school counseling. And again, there was a lot going on for me at home. My sister was in the height of a heroin addiction. She eventually lost that battle. And I watched my nieces and nephews struggle through what it was like to have a parent that was deep in addiction. But being a counselor can also be incredibly challenging. Probably one of the toughest years of my entire educational career. We lost 9 students and 1 teacher over a 13-month period. And that was probably the biggest toll that's ever been taken on me as an educator. I found myself in a really challenging spot in my career and honestly wasn't sure if education was the right fit for me anymore. But we were fortunate at Warren Central to experience something that's only happened one other time in Indiana history, and our girls and boys basketball teams both won the state championship in 2018. People came together. We had a parade with the mayor down Post Road and 21st Street, and those are things that the outside world thinks can't or won't ever happen here. And those state championships and being able to experience that was a huge turning point for me in my career. One of my goals in life was to be a great mom. And I don't know that I realized then what that meant, but when you see children through the eyes of a mother, it changes your perspective. It makes loss harder and it makes achievements greater. And it certainly makes me as an educator want to do more and be more for the students that are here. And ultimately, my goal every day is to provide a place for students that is safe, that is consistent, and that fulfills a need that isn't being met somewhere else.
One word that I would use to describe Mrs. Brown would be uplifting.
Faithful.
Passionate.
Altruistic.
Encouraging or relief.
Selfless.
What I wish people really understood is why she cares so much, why it matters to her. You know, I know as her husband that the expectations and standards sometimes seem impossible to meet, but it's because she cares.
When I reflect back on my entire journey as an educator, I know that it was shaped by many things. By my parents, my home life, by addiction and loss. It was shaped by my own teachers and the schools I attended. It was shaped by being a wife and a mom. And it was ultimately shaped by Warren Township. I've lived in 29 different homes in 41 years. And I've never walked in the front door of one of them for 17 years of my life. And I will continue to walk in the front doors of Warren Central because this is home to me and the people here are like my family.